Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another vlog. This vlog ended up having a theme. I wasn't fully planning on it having this theme, but I have been wanting to do this for a while, and this is library books only, basically. So I read a bunch of library books this week. I say a bunch. I read like 3. But I also have noticed that I'm not scared to DNF things, which is good because I want to read what I want to read. So we're going to do that. But I'm really happy with what I did read this week, and I am just going to shove you guys right into the vlog. My camera did die at one point while I was talking in this, and I never addressed it, so I apologize ahead of time for that one. And there is a lot of real, just music and stuff going on in this one. Hope you enjoy. So, yeah, enjoy the vlog. Probably hear John's listening to an audiobook in the next room, but I wanted to pop in. I finished my first library book of this week, and that is She Loves to Cook, She Loves to Eat, Volume 2 by Sakao Miyazaki. Hello. It's really good. I'm just covering up what library it's at, but it is my public library, so see? Public library. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying the series. It is 4 volumes, I believe, as of right now. And honestly, it's really cute. So this follows 2 not flatmates, 2 neighbors, I guess. They technically live 2 doors down from each other. But we have Nomoto, who absolutely loves food. She loves to cook, and what she thinks about most is food and what she's going to make next, and specifically now, what she's going to make for her new friend, Kasuga. Kasuga lives 2 doors down. This is Kasuga. This is Nomoto. And Kasuga absolutely loves to eat. And you kind of explain the reasoning behind that in this book. And she eats very large portions. She eats a lot. That's the way she is. And it's very interesting. It's a lot of fun. I really am enjoying this. It is going to end up being a female romance book, which is going to be fun. I haven't read one of these in manga. I don't think I've read a female manga really before, now that I'm thinking about it, which is very interesting. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. It's a lot of fun. Hi, kitty. What? Yeah? Is that so? Do you want to be in the video? Oh. Ow. You're so excited. You just want to be up on the table. Okay, nope, bye. So, yes. I finished it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I love this series. I'm going to get the next 2 volumes because we have them at the library. There's the cat. yeah, I don't know what I'm going to pick up next for library books, but I will let you know as soon as I do. It didn't take long to decide. The next one that's due is going to be this one, which is the book of Elsewhere by Keanu Reeves and China Miéville. Miéville? Miéville. I think that's how you say it. It's a Keanu Reeves book. Don't really know what it's about. Who keeps... I'm hearing the cat in the other room. Okay, so here's the summary, because I admit I picked it up because it's Keanu Reeves' book and it's fantasy. Inspired by the world of the Berserker comic books. Didn't realize that. She said we needed a tool, so I asked the gods. There have always been whispers, legends, the warrior who cannot be killed, who's seen 1,000 civilizations rise and fall. He has had many names. Unute. Unute. Child of Lightning, Death himself. These days, he's simply known as B, and he wants to be able to die. In the present day, a U.S. Black Ops group has promised him they can help with that, and all he needs to do is help them in return. But when an all-too-mortal soldier comes back to life, the impossible event ultimately points towards a force even more mysterious than B himself. One at least as strong, and one with a plan all its own. They've created something utterly unique, sure to delight existing fans and to create scores of new ones. Has he written books before? I feel like I should know this. No, it doesn't say. Okay. Well, this will be interesting. So, I'm going to give this a shot, see what I think of it, and I'll let you know.
From my window, sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on, all the way baritone. Yeah. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed. I get the wine and the corkscrew. You don't have to do one single thing. You don't know how much I want you. Just looking at you makes my whole world spin. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on, all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed. Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on, all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
Alright. Couple updates for you. I'm sure you can probably hear John's audiobook going. He has it on the big speaker downstairs, which is why I was reading up here. I am now 50 pages into the Book of Elsewhere by Keanu Reeves and China Miéville. It's interesting. It's not what I really expected, but I didn't know what to expect either. All I knew was this is a book about a guy who has been unable to die. It turns out he's been alive for 80,000 years. It's a long time to be alive for. And he just wants to be mortal. He just wants to be able to die. It takes a lot of focus, I'm not gonna lie, but it's good. I am really enjoying it. I don't have a lot of full thoughts on it right now because I'm not very far into it. It's 350 some pages. I'm 50 pages in. It's good. It's not my favorite book in the world, but it's still good. I've also, just as an update, I am reading Jade City right now, and I think 50 pages into this book as well. Yeah, so there we go. Then, the surprising thing I did today that I didn't plan on doing, but then I ended up doing, is I wrote today. I wrote in Project Basil, which I haven't touched in a long time, and I wrote 1,260 words in Project Basil, and I'm really happy with those words. I wrote the opening scene, and it's a lot of fun. I have written this book before technically, but when I wrote it before, it was a murder mystery, a cozy paranormal murder mystery, basically. And now it has turned into a fantasy novel. So, yes, like a high fantasy novel, basically, with realms and such. So it's expanded from being a supernatural cozy murder mystery. So I'm counting this as my zero draft because it kind of is, because I'm reworking like the entire thing. But yes, all right. The fact that his book's on right now is distracting me so much right now. But I have tomorrow off, so I'm going to try and get a lot done, and we'll see what happens. It's also my one day off, and then I work for 9 days in a row. So, cool. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, I'm going to go. Because I think I'm also really tired, so I think I'm going to go to bed. Because it's also like after 11 at night, so we're going to go do that. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I know, really quick update, sorry about that, but we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Alright, so it's Wednesday. I had all these plans. I was gonna be productive today. And I was, at first. I had to run to my parents' house in the morning, do a favor for them, or just help them out with something. And then I actually went to a cafe, and I read some more of the Book of Elsewhere. I'm intrigued by this book. It's different. I'm on page 96 right now, and it's almost less about, parts of it feel less about the main character who can't die and more about the rest of the world trying to figure out what that means, and then the rest of the world having to deal with loss. Because we do have a character pretty early on who has died, and we meet his husband, and his husband is part of this unit. They both were, and his husband died. But we deal with, there's a lot of loss also in this book, because he never dies, no, but he meets a lot of people. It reminds me a little bit of, what is it called? I just read it, and I absolutely loved it. I will say parts of this book remind me of A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeck, which I read like 2-3 months ago, something like that. I think I read it in June. And I really, really liked that book. It's one of my favorite books of the year. I don't think this one's going to be, but this one's definitely making me think. And it feels very much like Keanu Reeves as I'm reading this, like just how we see him portray himself in media and such. Like, there is no unnecessary words in this book. It's serious, but it's also got like little glimpses of humor, but it's like borderline depressing at times, but instead of making me depressed and upset, it makes me think. It's not a fast read, at least for me, it's really not. And I actually looked up online the reviews, and it looks like either people absolutely adore this book, they're not sure what to think about it, or they DNF it. Like, there is no, like, no other options, it seems. It's either a 3.5, like a 4.5/5, or a DNF. That's what I've seen. So that's interesting to me. But so far, I don't know what I'd give it, because it's not a complete story yet, obviously. I'm less than 100 pages into a 300 some odd page book. But it's I venture to say it's good. I think it's well done, and we'll see how it goes. But I am, so far, we just figured out what this is, so that's cool. I'm curious to see where this goes. I have some ideas, but I don't know what direction, like, if this is, like, fantasy. Well, obviously, it's like fantasy. If we're going with more science-y based kind of stuff. If we're going the psychological. I don't know what route of fantasy it's taken. I don't know if that makes sense. But, so far, not bad. Not bad. So, I did that. I sat at the coffee shop for, like, an hour and a half reading that. Then I came home to do some filming and to do stuff, and I took a 2.5 hour nap. I lay down on the couch and I was reading. I fell asleep. So it's now the afternoon. I've been up for a couple hours. I just made some lunch, and I made hard-boiled eggs for salads and such. But yeah, oops. So now we're gonna see what I can do. I didn't even bring my camera too. I can't even like prove to you that I left the house, but I did. I promised I left the house. And we're going out to dinner with John's parents tonight. So yes, it'll be fun. I'll see what I can get done. All right, I'm a little over 100 pages into the Book of Elsewhere, and I'm debating on if I'm going to continue it. Mostly not because it's a bad book, 'cause it's not a bad book at all. It's just that, like, it's just, one, I'm not positive what the plot of this book is, and two, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, it's good. It's not it's not a bad book, but I also don't know that I'm in the right mental state to read it right now, or if I'm in, like, if it's not just not meant for me. It's a bit too abstract at points, unfortunately, so I think I'm gonna end up DNFing it, unfortunately. But it's also because I'd like to get to some other books that are like the high fantasy stuff, especially since I'm going to be working on writing a fantasy book, so I'd like to get more into that rather than this one. So I think I'm going to be DNFing the Book of Elsewhere. Again, not because it's a bad book. I think it's just not meant for me. So I would encourage people to try and read it, especially if you liked, oh gosh, I don't even know. Especially if you like those more philosophical kind of stories, because it's definitely very philosophical about death, about loss, about that kind of stuff. But as of 100 pages, I also don't really know what the plot is. So, yes. And it's oddly narrated. This new location, you guys have never been here. I'm at work. Hi. And this is too short, but I don't have anything much taller. Hold on. I can fix this. Ha. Chair. Hi. It's Saturday the 24th. I'm the only one here. That's why I'm filming right now. But I wanted to give a little update. So, I DNF'd the Book of Elsewhere. I am currently reading Jade City, but I'm also, I started a new, actually a library book, one that I got the audiobook for. I got the audiobook for from Star Wars from a Certain Point of View. This is for The Empire Strikes Back. And I am 20% into it. So far, so good. I'm over 100 pages in. I really, really like it. And every time I read one of these Certain Point of View books, which so far I've read 1.5 of them, I'm reminded why I really love the original trilogy. And yeah, that's it. I really haven't read much because I've been hyper-focusing on writing fan fiction for some reason this week. That's where my mind's been, which is unfortunate because I have a novel to write, but fan fiction's where my head's at. But that's okay. Today, like I said, is Saturday. Work yesterday. It was a rough day. That's okay. It happens. Thursday was just a bit of a long day, honestly. So, yeah. I have an event that I'm working tomorrow at a festival, so that'll be fun. And yeah. That's really my updates. I wrote like 5,000 words in a stupid fan fiction yesterday that no one will ever see. Like, that's where I'm at. I do have two more, or a new library book. Got the Doll Makers, which this angle is terrible because the lights inside are off. This is Doll Makers by Lynn Buchanan. And there's no description in the back. The description is in the front cover. But I'm gonna go because my coworkers are here and I'm gonna go make some coffee. Alright? Just wanted to do an update. Alright, bye.
Everybody has their job, 9 to 5, and getting drained. They settle for second best, scared to risk what the future might bring. What the future might bring. I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door, telling me there is more waiting for me. Whoa. If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I belong somewhere above the water. My lungs are tired, I'm running for a long time. My feet got blisters, but maybe I belong if I love a little harder. If I love all the ways the world puts me to the test, if I embrace every fall, learn to grow and keep myself tall, would it hurt at all? I hold my breath, waiting for someone to knock at my door, telling me there is more waiting for me. Whoa. If I love you harder than I've ever done before, oh, maybe I belong somewhere above the water. My lungs are tired, I'm running for a long time. My feet got blisters, but maybe I belong if I love a little harder. A little harder. If I love a little harder.
Alright, my hair's a mess. You'll just have to ignore it because it's like 8 in the morning. Yeah. Cat was up at like 6. So I got up and I read a book. I read Third Shift Society by Meredith Moriarty. This is a webtoon that was turned into a graphic novel. It's the first book in the series and I absolutely adored it. Yes, he has a pumpkin head. So this follows Ellie. This follows Ellie and Ichabod. So Ellie is our main character right here, and she's having a lot of trouble finding a job. She's very clumsy, very, like, all over the place, and then she ends up half saving Ichabod from a hell beast of sort while he's fighting it, and he's just like, all right, you're with me now, and picks her up and runs away because she's injured and slightly in shock, and invites her to become a paranormal investigator because it turns out she has psychic powers. So, surprise, surprise. Honestly, my favorite part about this book is the art. It's so well done. It's so cool looking. Honestly, I really enjoyed my time with this one. It just came out like at the beginning of this year, I think my months say March, so it came out like March sometime. The second one in the series comes out in October, and I will admit I pre-ordered it. I also ordered a physical copy because this is a library book of this graphic novel. I would highly recommend it. It's so much fun. I give it a 5 out of 5. Like, there's no question for me on that one. And now I'm gonna go have coffee. So yes. Alright, so it's actually a continuing web series, and I might have just downloaded Webtoon and read season 2, which is the second book that comes out in October. So technically I read the second book. It was so cute. Like, this story is so intriguing to me, and I know it's like, it's something that's been done before, I get that. But I'm very intrigued. We got at least part of Ichabod's backstory, which is very intriguing, and I like it. I'm curious what the gods are doing. Elle is a little bit of a Mary Sue in these kinds of stories, but honestly, I don't mind it so much, but I think it's also because I really, really love this art style. I love what the artist is doing, and I think it's just a lot of fun. So I'm subscribed to the Webtoon, so I'll definitely be reading it as it comes out, and I'm very excited. And I'm still gonna collect the books when they come out because they're really cool looking books, and I wanna know, and this is something I could definitely see myself rereading. This is up there with like my adventures and rereads and all that. So yes, definitely a good one. I highly recommend. I probably should end this vlog soon. Alright, so it's the end of the video, as you can tell. Time for a quick little wrap up. So I did manage to read, what, 3 books this week? I literally just did this, and I don't know what I read. I don't know. I did want to update you on what I currently have started, and it's 2 books. One that I started a little while ago, and that's Foul Days by Genoveva Dimova, and I have talked about this one previously, but I did pick it up again, and then, whoa, dust settles in like 2 days. I also read the first like 10 pages of One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole, which is a very unique thriller horror mystery that I'm very intrigued by. Not far in because I was making coffee, so there. I honestly, I got hungry and I was like, I need breakfast, so I went and made breakfast instead. But I did start this one. So I've got these 2 books going right now I'm very excited about, and they are also both library books. So yes, I am still reading the library books. Now, for this week, I read 3 books, basically. I finished the 2nd volume of She Loves to Cook, She Loves to Eat, which I gave 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It's a lot of fun. And then I DNF'd the Book of Elsewhere, and I have collected my thoughts a little bit more on that one. It just wasn't for me, is really what it boiled down to. I found myself basically forcing myself to read it and being like, no, you'll enjoy this, you like the idea. And the thing is, I love the idea of a man who has lived for over 80,000 years and has seen all these empires rise and fall, has seen all these civilizations rise and fall, and has just lived through all of it. He's walked across continents that don't exist anymore, and he has all of this knowledge, and he speaks in languages that are dead, that have never been known to us in the modern day. And I love that concept. I love it. I didn't like how it was done. And I think the problem for me, personally, this is very personal for me, I couldn't find the plot in all of it. I couldn't find the plot through all of the information that was thrown, all of the stories he told, which again, were so intriguing and so different, so unique to that story. There wasn't a plot, unfortunately, for me. And I'm sure other people will read this book and be like, oh, I found it, like, this is the plot, blah, blah, blah. That's awesome. That's great. That book is meant for you. It's not meant for me. And I acknowledge that, and I moved on, and someone else, there's over 100 holds at my library for this book. Like, this book will get read, and there will be people who love it. Unfortunately, it's just not for me. But then I also finished this book this morning. I read Third Shift Society by Meredith Moriarty. I just talked about this book. I loved it. I then went to the webtoon and I read it. And again, I've had my time to collect my thoughts on this. I loved it. Is it cliche? A little bit, yeah, it is. It's a little cliche. But I still loved it. And these are the kinds of books that bring me a lot of joy. Is like this collection, I can tell you right now, as it comes out, I am going to continue to read this. I am going to continue to care for and root for these characters and their story and the trouble that they've gotten themselves into. Just as much as I did for like The Adventure Zone, the podcast that is now turning into a graphic novel, which I have the 6th one I still need to read. But just like that, like these are stories that for me, I read at the exact right time that I needed them. And so I absolutely love it. And I am very happy with reading this book. And I did order myself a copy, yes. But that's what I got for reading, definitely. I didn't talk about my writing, like, at all this week. I did do some writing. Not only did I do a bit of writing in Basil, I basically finished the outline for Basil. My one problem is I have a couple different directions for the ending, and I'm not positive which way it's going to go. So my plan, and we'll see how well this goes, is I'm going to write it and see what happens. Because I am mostly a pantser. I really prefer to pants things. But once my story for Project Basil is a 3-book series. It really is. That's how it's set up. That's what it honestly kind of has to be. Unless it's going to be a huge, long, very long story. But because of how it's set up, I do try to, I did try to write an outline. I did write an outline, a relatively detailed outline. And again, it's because I've kind of written this story before, but just in a different genre. So we'll see what happens. But aside from that, I also wrote a whole bunch in fan fictions this week. Ones no one will ever see, because I don't plan on publishing them, ever. Not on fan fiction. No, these are for me. These are for me to practice my writing with characters that I don't have to develop. It's for me to practice writing certain kinds of scenes. I wrote scenes that honestly, like, I needed practice writing just for me, for writing personally. I just needed practice. I needed to practice writing what I was writing. And so, yeah. Like it helped. It works. I feel better for it. And I have learned that if I want to write in that, then I got to write in that. And honestly, I shouldn't say I have to, but right now but right now I have not put myself on a writing schedule. That writing schedule will come next month. So I have one more week to kind of fiddle about with what I want to write. And then I'm going to jump into a novel next month. And that is my plan to write, is in a novel. And that will be my updates for probably the next 2 months. So yes, but I'm going to continue trying to read. I have not read, like, any of the books on my TBR for this month, so I should probably look at some of those. And several are audiobooks, so I have the audiobooks. I have them to read, and I have my glasses right here. I have them to read, so I should do that, right? Like, that makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, I have now caused this video to be over 30 minutes long, and I am sorry for that. But that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help me out in the long run. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye!